Yeah, we own a few things. It's exciting. It's been wonderful to be part of this community. Wouldn't have had it any other way.
Looking out from this Portland rooftop,
I mean, it's a beautiful city. I mean,
it's hard to find a place untouched by the Schnitzer family.
But this has been a wonderful home, and there's a quality of life here. This is by Peter Halley.
It's also hard
fabulous artist
to find an Oregonian more in love with art
Come in my office one sec.
than Jordan Schnitzer.
This is all the art we have.
In his office, binders upon binders hold the details of his nearly 22,000-piece collection.
So an awful lot. Well, we have 1,400 Warhols.
The one thing Jordan may love more than art?
When I see his work, it's beyond just the bull itself. It's talking about how we perceive the world around us.
Sharing it with
And
others.
there's a statement about Roy Lichtenstein.
I think the way in which he speaks about his passion is truly contagious. I mean, it sounds corny, but it really is.
As the owner of one of the world's most notable art collections, Jordan's been dubbed the People's Collector
Our first love is art of the region.
because of his dedication to bringing art to audiences around the world.
And we're all artists. We all have creativity in our own lives.
You'll see him sort of weeping, literally weeping before tears of joy before a work of art. And I think that really helps other people see it through fresh eyes and realize that it's much more than just sort of like a pretty thing hanging on a wall. And that has a very, very significant impact.
But even with his global reach, his home is strongly rooted in Oregon.
Because as my mother used to say, this is our village. This is our home.
His love for his community and connection started early as he witnessed his parents, Harold and Arlene Schnitzer, make their own mark on Portland.
I look back at the complicated times, like every kid, but I think what really came through is I saw them get up every day and want to make a difference.
He watched as his father found success in the real estate business, working right alongside him.
Well, I started working at 14 as a janitor, and then I was a painter, and then I started working in the office during summers. I would also change my overalls to a suit and go with him to San Francisco or Seattle.
Meanwhile, his mother's pursuit of art planted a seed in him that grew more than he could have ever imagined.
Growing up as an only child, when I went to first grade, my mother enrolled in the Portland Art Museum Art School, now called Pacific Northwest College of Art.
Years later, Arlene would open the Fountain Gallery, a pioneering contemporary art gallery that helped shape Portland's art scene.
Remember, my mother opened that gallery. Not many women ran businesses, and there were many instances which one can imagine about those glass ceilings she had to not be taken seriously, and she worked hard to overcome a lot of that.
That drive wasn't lost on Jordan.
The key is overcoming one's obstacles, getting up each day, putting a foot forward, and doing the best you can that day to make a difference. David Hockney.
His tenacity and ambitious spirit blossomed. He grew his family's commercial real estate business into one of the top 10 real estate companies on the West Coast. Today, Schnitzer Properties operates across 6 western states.
I wake up every day, and as long as I'm in business, I run scared. My daughter Arielle, so cute, she says, "Dad, why do you talk about your mistakes so much?" And I said, "Arielle, I think you'll learn in life that we learn more from our mistakes than our successes. But your dad's made a few more right decisions than wrong."
A large portion of his real estate focuses on multi-tenant flex industrial space geared towards smaller businesses.
And what's interesting during COVID, well, lots of the big companies couldn't let all the people come to work. Virtually every one of our tenants were there every day because this is how they made their living. And if they want to put food on their table, they were there, whether they're distributing vegetables or furniture or pool supplies or lighting supplies, cameras, film. We have 3,150 tenants in that group.
Jordan's philanthropic impact extends worldwide, including the Schnitzer Care Foundation, which carries on the legacy of his late parents and has given over $300 million to nonprofits and community programs.
We have some giant explosive pieces.
And through the Jordan Schnitzer Family Foundation, he shares his art collection with millions, partnering with more than 130 museums to present over 180 exhibitions.
I think you see someone who has an energy level and that basically is unique, and also a passion that is so driven, and it's driven by the heart, and that heart sits in the right place.
In the arts, whatever one experiences, seeing art, seeing a ballet, listening to music, whatever they feel is the sum of all that they've ever been. And no one can tell anyone that what they're experiencing or feeling is wrong. It's right for them. Takes my breath away every time I look at his work.
And when it comes to the power of feeling,
He uses these big frames to make you think about the glorious work in the...
Jordan believes generosity leads to a life well lived.
When you do things for others, you feel good about yourself. It actually is the most self-indulgent thing you can do to make yourself feel good about yourself. Do something for someone else. Do our best.
A life of business,
A lot of good institutions.
passion for art,
This is Thurman Statham,
and a shared sense of community.
glass artist. Wonderful man, great artist. Maybe I'll look back and say, maybe I did a pretty good job. The more we've done philanthropically, the more humble and appreciative I am that we're in a position to do those things.